Good day, everyone. This is Jeeves from Gamershub at Intel Pack for DreamHack. This time I've got a very special interview with not one, but two casters that are casting for Riot Games here at the Nordic Open-tournament, also provided by Riot Games. So first of all, hello Pulse, hello Stress.
Hey.
You want to do a little introduction?
Yeah, I'm Pulse. I'm originally from the UK. I've been casting for around 3 years now, and I'm 19 years old.
That tends to be the biggest talking point is he's 19 years old. I'm Stress. I'm also from the UK. I'm from Wales. And like Richard, we both work out of the Berlin office with Riot Games working on the LCS and European Challenger Series.
Yeah, so you've been together for quite a while. So how did you end up pairing with each other?
So I think the first time we met was at Insomnia 47, I believe. First off, we didn't like each other because we just met each other as like, this guy seems a bit of a douche. But then after years and years, I still think, no, we were good friends. We even lived together in Berlin. And yeah, we've casted so many events together now. We've just built such a big relationship.
Yeah, it's great. So now how does that synergy actually end up together? Did it like take long in order to create such a synergy?
It's weird. We both have a fairly similar sense of humor when it comes to things. So I think working together has been fairly natural. That works. That goes a long way into actually making a good caster pair when it comes to synergy. So at this point, we've just known each other for so long that it just is very natural whenever we go live with a cast. So it certainly helps having a similar sense of humor, though.
That's great. And what kind of humor do you share?
One that's typically not safe for broadcast.
So it's not PG then.
Well, a little bit of both. There's some crossover, but yeah, I mean, like, I pretty much a lot of our humor does crossover, but yeah, even on air when it comes down to puns and just the stuff that we like and the puns that we make, we usually get. I mean, sometimes there was one the other day with the South Park didn't quite get, but yeah. we usually align when it comes to like things like Pokemon.
Yeah, that's great. I'm pretty sure that everyone has a little bit of Pokemon in their childhood, so that always works. So normally you've got these two different casters, right? You've got the play-by-play caster who does like all the action, and then the color caster who does more of the analysis. But of course, like there's also a lot of research to be done before you go into these games and casting these games. So is that something that you divide roles into? Is it still more a thing for the color caster? And I think especially you, Stress, you are more of the color caster, right?
Yeah, I'm a color caster whenever we cast together, and have been fulfilling that role a little bit more so with regards to Challenger Series and LCS now. It's less of an individual effort these days, now that we're working with a big team with the Berlin crew and Riot. It's very much so we all have communal story ideas, so we have meetings on a Monday and a Tuesday to look at what storylines are going into games, and we put together that with our stats team. And generally it's just everybody does a lot of research, and then you come out with one big storyline. So everybody has their input on the story, but certainly a lot of the analysis is done by our color team, which is Deficio, myself, now Crepo we just added to the team, and our stats crew, Spelzy's just joined us in Berlin as well. So it's a big team, but it goes a long way to making a good story.
So how's Crepo actually doing these days then? Because of course he's a newcomer, but like does he go in well, or does he still struggle on points? Or?
I mean, a lot of us already knew Crepo before he joined the team, and that's just meant that he's integrated so well. I mean, it's just like you see him every week in the LCS, right? And then he joins the team, and things are as normal. We just see him a little more. I actually sit next to him in the office, and yeah, we get along well. We've had some like kind of ice-breaking sessions, and I mean, we didn't really need it, but I mean, now we just know each other a little better. So yeah, it's been great working with Crepo. He's got so much up-to-date game knowledge, in the same way that Deficio did when he first came on board. Working with two amazing color casters like that, you learn a lot, and you learn a lot very quickly.
And does it also struggle you a little bit, because like someone new is coming in, of course he fits in well, but it's still a little unusual, of course, when it comes to casting. Like, is there something you really have to get used to at such a point?
I mean, every caster has a slightly different style. Mitch is still working every single day to exactly find his groove, but I honestly feel Mitch being a part of the office, as Paul said, just has leveled up everybody with regards to not only presentation and game knowledge themselves, but just how we work as a team. It feels, again, like seemed to always be a place for a person like Crepo with his sense of humor, his ability to just come out with a one-liner or a reference on broadcast is insane. So we've all kind of had to step up our game on that as well, but he certainly just fits straight into the team.
That's very great. So talking about being a Riot employee in general, like Riot has been known for having like employees to have like some sort of several role type of jobs. So, like, do you do anything besides shoutcasting, or is it just a purely shoutcasting you do?
For me personally, as a shoutcaster, yeah, that is my primary role. And as Stress was talking about before, with the preparation, literally like a typical office week is, as you mentioned, go over the VODs before, the VODs that you've done like previous week, continue learning, and then of course prepare for the next show. So you've got the stats and looking at the different stories for the following games you're going to cast. So yeah, casting is pretty much a full-time job for me.
Okay, that's very nice. So you do have like a big support around Riot, around the shoutcaster, so you can actually like focus on your full job then.
Yeah, we have a big team, as you said. It goes well beyond behind the scenes as well. We've got I mean, Christy, I guess a talent manager among many other jobs. Our stage manager has a lot of you know, other responsibilities as well. So certainly out of our office, we're quite a small office in Berlin, but everybody has a couple of different hats, but is very dedicated, and they work super hard to make sure our broadcast is top of the range.
We work with some pretty amazing individuals, and it's honestly an honor a lot of the time to work with them, and it amazes me how they're able to do everything they do from day to day.
Okay, so I actually want to move on like behind the scenes. You know, like as soon as you go into game, you just see the game. But like I've seen this video done by Riot where shoutcasters, where you actually see them behind the scenes. They would be making all these like signs and like taps. Like, do you guys actually have anything to sign to each other? Like, could you give examples as well? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on the caster desk, I mean, Stress can actually give the perspective from the analyst desk as well, but we use hand signals when we're casting. So if I have a point, then I'll put out my hand. If I really want to talk my point, I'll start tapping on the desk so that my co-caster acknowledges it. But it's like an acknowledgement. It's not like, I want to talk right now and you're going to shut up. It's when I have a moment, I will pass over to you and I'll let you have your moment. I know Crepo actually has a very different style, so he'll do this. And this means I have a small interjection, so you'll just wait for a moment, and you'll let him say his one-liner, which is usually something witty, and then you can carry on with your point. But again, it's just a suggestion. You don't have to just like cut off. But yeah, we use different hand signals to denote different things during the cast.
could you give examples, like a little bit of a test?
Yeah, sure. So for instance, I found I had a new one, that casting with quickshot, that I'd never done before, which I think may confuse you a little bit. So as Paul said, with one hand, you have it out or tap. I've somehow gone to putting two hands out sometimes during picks and bans, which means I really need to talk, like right now, no tapping or anything. But Trevor, Quickshot, was like, you just put two hands out. And I was like, okay, but he wants to talk. So that certainly happens from time to time. But it even gets to the point now, we're pretty good at reading how each other finish our sentences, but even to the point of now, if I put my hand forward on my leg like that, Pulse is probably thinking, oh, he wants to say something, and that just kind of happens. Even in office, you kind of give over to the hand signal. There's it's a little behind the scenes thing, but it certainly helps flow, because it can be difficult when you've got multiple people to actually figure out exactly how to get things to flow quite nicely.
So shoutcasting is slowly taking over your brain, where you're doing like all these signs, like even in the office. So okay, I don't want to make this interview a little bit too long, so I just want to wrap it up right now. And I actually want to do a little bit of a quiz, just to see how well you know each other, because you've been casting for quite a while. So I'm gonna ask you a question, yeah, and you have to try and figure out what the answer is for him, right? Yeah, so something like that. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So okay, so let's start with you, Pulse. Yeah.
Right.
What is his favorite champion?
Bard.
So I kind of have to half give him that. If it was right now, Bard is the answer, because Bard is the best champion of all time. Corki, but I think Bard is fine. Yeah, well, I spammed Corki in season 2.
All he talks about in the office is Bard, so I'm like, it's got to be Bard.
I'll give you it. I'll give you it.
It's okay. So how many points should we give Pulse?
I think you can give him the point, because I do talk about Bard a lot.
So okay, there's 1 point already. So okay, can it also do for Pulse? That's the question.
Oh man, Nautilus.
So Nautilus is the champion that I love to play, but Vi is my favorite champion.
Oh, I even knew that. I knew that. Now that you've said it, I'm like, man, I haven't heard that from him in a while. But yeah, you're right. Okay, I get no points. I'll take
Okay, so 1-0 for Pulse. Okay, next one is, what is Pulse's favorite color?
Yeah, probably black.
Yeah, can confirm black.
1-1 right now. Okay, so what is Stress's favorite color?
That's a tough one. He varies his style a lot, so that's hard. He does like the different type of colors though, so I'm just gonna go with a solid blue.
Yeah, my spring split wardrobe was pretty blue, just because it's a very easy to color to go with everything. Yeah, and that's right.
Okay, so
This is worrying how many you're getting right about me, and I feel like I'm kind of lagging behind now.
It's all good.
so okay, 2-1 so far. Okay, so as an amateur caster, who did Stress look up to?
Okay, so in I-47, I know he casted with Trevor or Quickshot, and he had a great experience with him, so I'm gonna go with Trevor.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I think when you're an amateur caster, you have a lot of influences, but certainly working with Trevor, I learned a lot. So when it came to actually leveling up my casting, I would say so. I was always kind of looking forward to working with Trevor again and getting rid of this one.
Yes. Wait. There was a bit of I got a point and a bit of he just flames me. But yeah, I'll take it.
Well, Pulse is definitely scoring points here, so if I were you shouldn't get too many wrong, right? So okay, now the same question to you. So who was Pulse's favorite caster when he was an amateur?
Day 9, hands down.
Got it in one. Straight up.
And why do you know that so well then?
So I know that Pulse has a very similar background to me when it came to watching other games previously, so a lot of StarCraft beforehand, and I know a lot of casters, when you watch Day 9 Daily number 100, his big story about his life has quite an effect on people when it comes to esports stories, and we've spoken about Day 9 quite a few times before, so...
Yeah, he's just such an amazing storyteller that when you get into casting, I mean, when you break it down to the fundamentals, it's about storytelling, and I don't think there's many casters in esports that can challenge Day 9 on telling a story.
Sounds really, really good. Okay, so the very, very last one. So this one is probably even trickier than the last one. I think it's the bonus pose. So
Can Stress bring it back in this? Can Stress bring it back in this one?
yeah, you can probably make it the winner takes it all, yeah?
Whoa, well, I mean, I'm not in a situation to refuse that.
I don't know how I feel about this, but okay.
You still have the option to refuse.
I'm not going to refuse all in.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. So okay, let's start with you then, Pulse. So, what champion does Stress have a secret crush on?
A secret crush on? Bud.
No. Everyone's secret crush is Tarek.
It was so obvious as well, and I just completely missed it. Yeah, my bad.
I know his answer, though. You don't even have to ask. It's going to be Draven.
He got it in one. Unbelievable. He recovered strong in this one, so I guess he takes it, right?
Yeah, I believe we agreed on that. So it's the gentleman's agreement.
I had the lead all the way through, man, and just right at the very end, he got me.
Okay, so do you want to give like a one last tricky question in order for you to give a little bit of a comeback?
A tricky question. Do I get to come up with the question?
Yes.
Then who's going to answer it?
Stress still.
Okay, so it's a question about myself. Ooh, what was the first game I casted?
Oh, I know it's Supreme Commander, too.
Oh, there you go.
So
He got it.
you'd be surprised how competitive we are, that as soon as we're gone from here, he's actually going to be quite annoyed. He's playing it cool and calm for now, but I'm sure he'll get me back on broadcast at some point tomorrow, because he does have pretty sharp wit when it comes to comebacks, so...
You can hug, by the way. You can hug if you want.
Maybe not now.
Maybe after the interview.
Yeah, that's for after the dark, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. So is there any last words you want to give to your fans or audience?
Just thank you for watching me all over the years. I mean, I guess I've come a long way. I mean, I don't want to sound like a douche, but I mean, like I've tread a long path, and yeah, thank you for everyone who stuck with me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks again, as Paul's kind of echoed, and anybody that ever watched any of our stuff previously. We're just looking forward to getting back regularly on the air as well. We're kind of guesting on the LCS for a couple of weeks, but our Challenger series is going to be back on the 24th of June, so that'll be every week. We'll finally be back on everybody's screens as a duo weekly. So it should be good.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for this interview. It was a great pleasure. I had a lot of fun. So, guys, thank you for watching this video as well. Make sure to check out all the other videos for more interviews and coverage on DreamHack. This was Jeeves and Gamershub for Intel Pack for DreamHack. And I'll see you in the next one.